Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be working on the 1948 Keller Super Chief once again, and I have a bunch of stuff that I need to get done. Hallelujah. Was able to get the axle 100% torn down, and it was kind of stubborn. A lot of things didn't want to come apart, but I finally was able to get everything apart once I got it into the press. The drums on the outside really just needed some finessing, and I thought I was going to cause some damage to some stuff, but I didn't. And I'm very happy that that's the case, because there isn't anything on here that I could just go down and buy from a store. So what I found out, and it took a lot of research to do this, the pumpkin is a Willys Jeep differential. It's a 23 Spicer or Dana, whatever. I guess Dana bought Spicer back in the day. The outer tubes are from a Studebaker Champion, and all of the, you know, the brakes, the rotors, the wheels, the backing plates, all from that Studebaker Champion. This is like a machined adapter, and it's not really sealed. That's why the differential was all oily. Over time, you know, the bottom gasket was leaking, but up here it was really oily, and I don't think this is brazed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, once I find a machine shop, because we don't have any more in our town anymore, to hot tank this. I'll have this brazed right here and right there. Then I'll blast it, and then I'll Cerakote it in E100 blackout like everything else before I do the rebuild, and it's going to look like a brand new axle. I also want to coat all this stuff. I think you guys are going to like the color. It's a, you know, it's like a factory color that the engine would have came in, but it's going to look a lot better because it is in Cerakote. It's going to be a little bit more glossy, a lot more durable. It's not going to look like this after 100 years. So another thing, I got a bunch of other differential components already ran through the ultrasonic cleaner. This thing, the Viver ultrasonic cleaner, has been coming in clutch. I've been using it a bunch, and as you can see, it does a really good job. I have all the shims right here. I'll probably reset the pinion height and everything, make sure the new bearings aren't going to cause any changes. Where I'm going next is to drop off the flywheel and the drive shaft to be resurfaced and rebuilt. I was going to take all of these drums, but unfortunately the rear ones are perfectly fine. The passenger side one on the front is perfectly fine. The driver's side one, which is that one, is that top drum is like bent, and I don't know if that's because it sat so long with a flat tire or something hit it, or I have no clue, or maybe that's how it was, but it is not square. So I'm going to order all new drums for this, as well as a bunch of, you know, I need to order new pads or shoes, I guess, and get everything. So I'm not really going to take these down to the machine shop and just buy one brand new one. I'll just buy all brand new ones and all new shoes, and then I'll probably just end up saving these ones or listing them on eBay, the 3 good ones that I have, and just junk that driver's side front one that is bad. I have the rear differential, I have the head also, the oil pan, the block, some covers to take over to this guy that has a hot tank. Hopefully everything goes well. The differential is almost clean, but I just want to run through a hot tank to get, you know, they're really nice because they get really hot and that gets all the oils drawn out of the pores, and then when you pressure wash them off, they're almost ready to just Cerakote right out of the hot tank. After a week, the drive shaft is finally rebuilt, all new U-joints as well as the slip joint up front, and then they balanced it, which is really nice because I was 50-50 on how well they balanced them in 1948. I also had the flywheel resurfaced, and then Cerakote sent me a bunch of products for the Keller, and I have all of the brand new bearings to rebuild the differential in the next episode. I was finally able to get a bunch of stuff done, and I'm really happy that I was able to get the differential all the way torn down, hot tanked, and all the other stuff hot tanked as well. I was also able to take the drive shaft to get rebuilt and a bunch of other parts. Also the engine, I'm going to be working with another YouTube channel. He is going to actually go through everything, fix those two bad stud holes, and I don't want to use a different block since this is an original car. It is kind of, you know, it's not super historical, but it does have a lot of Colorado history, which I want to keep it as original as I possibly can. And I want this block to be able to be used. And I don't think there'll be any issues with using it. So I'm very excited about that. Unfortunately, stuff happens. The studs weren't coming out. They had been, the car's probably been sitting for 60 years. A lot of people were saying, why weren't you using penetrating oil? I'd really love for somebody to show me how to do that on a head stud with the stud, the head still on the engine. I'm not exactly sure how you do it. So, I don't think that was the issue. I just think it was because the engine and the car had sat so long. But I'm going to end the video here. Can't wait to get all that stuff back from the machine shop, as well as the drive shaft shop and a bunch of other places and bearings and parts that we need and stuff from Send so we can get the frame fixed. But if you like these videos, make sure to click the subscribe button, thumbs up, throw a comment below, share it with your friends. As always, see you guys next time.